So another thing that was fascinating is when I set up this abundance corner, I had been looking for a journal that I had kept. So years ago, when I was with Stephen, I recognize it was 9 years ago, 2015. I was working at the time with a spiritual business coach and a vocal alchemist. She was really cool. And we were doing a specific personal journey around the womb and the voice. Again, this connection between the pelvis and the heart and the upper and lower. And so I thought it would be really cool to look at my notes from that time. So I've been looking for this journal, and I found it when I created the Abundance Corner. And I was reading some of it, and it was so interesting to, one, see the similarities in the things that I struggled with or complained about in my partners, like Stephen versus Tony today, because they're very different men. But I was, having the same issues, some of them. And at the same time, I was also taking a relationship course with this woman named Kavita, who's also great, and linking back romantic patterns to the way I grew up with my parents, the way I saw my parents' relationship. And so, I'm seeing that now again. But I was also seeing how Tony was the answer to certain things that I, wanted differently with Stephen. I wanted someone who was, very generous with his, would always tell me, love me. And I wouldn't have to ever doubt it. And very, just affectionate and generous and warm. Because I felt like Stephen was more, he was kind of well, you already know I love you. Why do I have to say it? I realized, Tony does do that. He's very affectionate. And I realized, I haven't been fully taking it in. My thought is sometimes even he doesn't really mean it, or it's he's just, saying, when you say something so often, it's empty. Instead of oh my gosh, obviously at one time there was this part of me that longed for that. And now I have it, and I'm not celebrating. And so this theme of, so another thing that came up was worrying that I'm too much. If I don't, if I haven't seen Tony or any of my friends, if I haven't talked to them in a little bit, there's so much that happens that I feel is interwoven and intricate, and all the details are important, that it's almost I feel I want to share all that, but it's a lot. It's a lot for me to rehash, and it's a lot for the person to listen to. And that's when I make work to share in the public, I keep thinking I need to make it more digestible, but I'm this is the way my mind works. And when I try to limit it, there's just always more. So it's something I'm learning to dance with. In any case, this feeling of being too much, feeling too much, having too much to say, having too many thoughts, having too many things I want to do. Jennifer, my stylist friend, told this woman who was a client of hers, who was also a fashion queen in her own right. But Jen said for her, for some people less is more, but for you, more is more. And I totally feel that. When I'm, again, that energy of outrageousness, when I'm just having fun, playing, and going all out, which is where I feel excited and inspired, then that's me in my flow. But when I kind of go halfway, or just, get insecure, or I don't have the energy, or no one's going to get it, so I'm not going to show myself that, that is when I'm not being myself. So when I have less power. So Donna had offered this meditation around overcoming self-doubt. And in it, it was connect to the part of yourself that feels small and scared about whatever big dream or goal you have. And for me, it was in my throat. And the part of me that totally believes in my dreams, knows they're going to happen, is really just excited. That expansive part of me, that was in my heart. And I asked each what it needed or wanted. And my throat said that it wanted me to listen to her more. and the heart just, to connect more often. And so every day now I've been asking my throat, whatever I feel there, like if there's fear, how old you are, and just asking how it feels. And it's such a simple exercise. And I've done it in different ways at different parts of my life, right? Like I've done parts talking and all kinds of healing modalities and all of that. But just, I haven't done this like simple everyday thing that's like so compassionate, right? Just checking in and listening to myself, and not the one that's like, I usually ask for guidance, about what's next or what's aligned, but not to like what I'm actually just feeling in the moment for no other reason than to be like, are you okay? And the fact that it's in my throat, again, bringing up this theme of around this, like, I feel like I'm pretty self-expressed, but I'm noticing, that, there's a lot of ways I've been holding back, and now I'm talking to myself instead of, and hopefully it will help, like, instead of having to have like an outburst or, because it feels like dammed up most of the time until my emotions overflow. I've been noticing the ways I've been holding back, like even in my relationship with Tony, like a thought like, well, I don't know where this is going. I'm having doubts come up, and, I don't want to seem too into it right now. And then he'll like relax and enjoy it a lot, and then just be like, actually, this isn't working out, which is crazy, right? It's like, okay, so then instead you're going to make it like not be at your best and like be sort of in this, like just being all in every moment. And that's what the message I've been getting around like the boundaries around joy, like to put a gate around like anxieties about the future and things about the past and other people's stuff. Like, again, back to this like humbleness, being able to be humble enough to appreciate how precious every part of life is, and the transience of the moment and the experiences, even things that are painful and uncomfortable. Like, you came here to experience all of it. Can I enjoy the adventure that is my life and not be afraid that I'm making the right or the wrong choice, or that I'm somehow missing something? The only thing I could miss is enjoying what the fuck is happening. And I do feel this shift. So 2 days ago, we started doing something called ovarian breathing. And it feels like kind of laborious and like, but there's a lot of counting, because you have to like, you're supposed to do 9 cycles of this sort of breathing pattern, and then 9 spirals in certain places. And so I started to use the Magdalene code. So the Divine Light activation codes that I mentioned, they work with numbers, the numbers 1 through 24. So each number has its own Divine Light code. And so I've been, instead of counting 1 through 9, I count through the codes, which it just feels like this like extra imprinting on my body. And then I wasn't feeling it any first. I wasn't even feeling the energy that much. But then the other day I started to like have that shaking sort of like trauma release feeling, or something's happening. So, and I also just felt the energy shift. Like, I stopped focusing on the relationship with Tony. Like, I'm like not making any decisions about it. I'm just doing my own thing and being as happy and kind as possible when we were together. This last weekend, this was a new moon in Pisces, we like actually shifted the space where finally like enough of it is in storage, and cleared out that we can actually just work on like designing new spaces. And like, we made a new office area for him that I thought was going to take a lot of time, and we'd have to buy all these materials. And we again, this is like my favorite magic of the housework, which is, it's not about like having the perfect design like in a magazine and picking out. It's about seeing the treasures in what you have in your life already, like the things that you chose and the reason why, and like being re-inspired, like feeling even more for it than you might have before. and having it be in its perfect place so it can be fully appreciated and enjoyed and add to your life instead of just being junk in the closet or covered up because there's so much other stuff. So yeah, there were these like dressers that we were actually, wondering if we should get rid of, but they're kind of belonged to his father, so we wanted to keep. And they made this perfect station. So, and it just, I don't know, it's starting to feel different. Like, it's really starting to feel like we are creating something new together. And I found out that we did not get we applied for this residency in Hawaii. It was my 4th or 5th time applying. I really felt like I was going to get it this time. I was guided to apply by the spirit of my future child. And I had all these ideas like, oh my gosh, maybe like Tony and I are going to be together and we're going to get pregnant in Hawaii. Any case, I just love the idea of like, again, co-creating with someone I love in our genius and being paid to do it. Like, love that idea. Anyway, I found out I got rejected. But today I found out I got accepted into an exhibit around the theme of home, a local one in Baltimore, where I am going to be doing, I think, spoken word and sharing a video that I made for the Hawaiian art residency. But so yeah, I got accepted to this one and feel a little definitely nervous if I am asked to do a spoken word thing because I haven't done something live in a while. But I also feel like excited